Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attacker Productions. Today I'm Bancroft, being joined once again by Jimmy, Jake, and like always, Fluff.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, beautiful people?
And like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click to there for a reason. Today's matchup is Xeno Gogeta versus Set 15 Cabba. It is Jake versus Kevin. Kevin's not here today for the recording, but we got Jake here to kind of give us an idea of how the match went up. And this is actually, I think, one of the few decks that Kevin has brought multiple times. So he kind of got a better feel of it. And we've kind of played against Kevin using this deck as well. So we kind of have an idea how this deck runs as well. I think Fluff has played this deck. So got the information there. And keep in mind, Set 15 is out. We do have those cards, which is pretty exciting. Throughout this week, you'll see a lot of different variety of profiles. It's not profiles, sorry. Matchups with new decks, but no profiles, because I think everyone, as soon as they played it, were like, this is wrong. We need to change it. We need to fix it. We need to do something different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
I think I heard at least every person say, "Oh shit, I forgot to put like half of my engine in the deck,"
or like ratios are. Oh my gosh, was that 2 super combos?
Yeah. I think it's. Actually, I don't
like...
think it's super combos. I think it's the Goku negates.
No,
under that. It was two super combos and 2 Goku negates.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Huh.
This is gonna be an interesting.
At least he's set up for fusion targets.
That's
true.
interesting. That's interesting because later in the game he goes to fuse and then realizes he doesn't have targets in the warp. So I don't know what those cards were.
Well, we'll see when we continue watching what happens.
Yeah. So all I could really do there is just like charge and pass because I've got to try and get my multicolor stuff set up. I'm trying to combine like some of the older Universe 6 cards with the new stuff, and I think a lot of those older cards have just kind of been phased out power level wise. But it made for a really interesting build this weekend.
So, to rack your brain a little bit, Jake, on this particular build of Cabba, like I've seen aggressive builds, I've seen mid-range builds, I've seen like sort of like energy control builds. What are you feeling that this deck? What path do you think this deck is going to eventually take?
Those are super combos.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he grabbed
Huh. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, back to Jimmy's question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've kind of got distracted there. We're trying to do investigative work as the video is going live. Yeah, I think he just took it back.
Those, because they don't have to be the same power level, right?
They do.
To fuse, they do.
The super combo,
But all of those are the same power level.
The super combos at 5K as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he just took it back. They just decided not to. Which is probably smart. Don't put it out when I don't have anything on the board for him to remove, you know?
That's true.
Just don't waste it. But, really my plan with this deck is to try and kill on, like, 3 or 4. And try and, like, awaken early and, but on these, like, slow startups like I've got going on here, I'd kind of prefer to go into my hit unison and just kind of set up a big alpha strike, like draw a bunch of cards, flip my opponent's leader back over, and then try and play like 2 or 3 battle cards in the same turn and kill them while they're still unawakened. Unfortunately, I don't think I've seen a hit unison yet. So that plan is kind of off the menu for right now. I think really I'm just trying to build up enough resources to defend the Alpha Strike, because I know Gogeta Xeno is very strong in that regard.
And the combo works where on swing you discard a U6 to draw 2, is that right?
Yep. So, something really good, and I feel like Cabba players can benefit from, is a card called Kale Timid Sister from Set 7. You could discard any U6 with a cost of 3 or more off of Cabba's ability, and then for 1 energy, just pick it right back up off of Kale. So that's like a kind of like a way to gain advantage off of your leader's downside.
On a side note, I'm going to remember to talk to Kevin. I'm thinking he doesn't believe he can use the super combos because they're not the same energy costs.
Maybe not? I don't know.
Because he grabbed the 1-drop Vegeta, even though the super combo, I think, was closer to the top. Because he's now milled 3 super combos. Also,
maybe he doesn't want to warp them for some reason? I don't know.
Or put him in the drop.
Put him back on the drop.
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Again, Kevin is one of our newer players. He did buy a collection off of one of our retiring players. So that's why he has access to all of these decks, and you see him playing a myriad of decks, even though he is a fairly new player and still learning the game every week. So, again, putting that out there so you know what's going on if you see unoptimal play.
As we progress, we try our best to make sure, like, just to help them along as well. So,
I mean, I don't even play that great sometimes. I've been playing since like set 7.
And we try to put a variety of decks on camera. So sometimes we do have to kind of push our newer players onto the stream table. So that's why you see a lot of newer players on the channel. So we have more variety, and it's not Soul Striker after Soul Striker. Because we all know how much you guys love Soul Striker.
We calmed down. We got only one person bringing a Soul Striker, but he is new to the Soul Striker leader, so I'm giving him a little slack on that, you know?
That's locals. Bring what you want, in my opinion.
Fine, I'll bring
What if I play the old
day.
Soul Striker leader?
The old one?
I'm going to play the old one next week.
Go for it.
I'm going to play it with my Finn deck.
Yeah, that sounds so good.
Yeah.
Doesn't it restand mono blue
really
energy?
Good.
It restands blue energy, not just mono blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can restand my blue-black energy. Can't do that with the new one. The new Soul Striker leader's garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they banned the old one. The old one's too good.
So, Vados Champa is a card. It's a very old card from set 7, I think, right? Or is it 9?
Yep. Set 7.
If I'm correct, it doesn't die right away. Is that right?
If your opponent removes it by a skill, you can discard a card in your hand and switch it to rest mode instead, and switch one of your opponent's energy to rest mode, and it'll stay on the field.
And I can't remember, is that once per turn, or is that one of those things where you do as much as you can?
It's in pink text on a permanent, so I think it just happens every time. As long as I choose to discard the card.
Yeah, and discarding the card is the only thing that is mandatory off of it, pretty much. Because you do not have to switch it to rest mode every single time. So if it's already in rest mode, you can still protect it.
Yeah, it's one of those things you complete as much as you can.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but this looks very scary from your perspective.
Yeah, it's pretty not good. He's got a lot of power on these 1-drops thanks to his leader card and his Pycon Unison. And if I were to negate an attack here, I'd have to warp a couple of cards out of my hand. So, luckily for me, most of my defense comes in the battle step anyway. Like, I don't really play a whole lot of negates. But, this was definitely an incredibly scary board, and I think I remember saying to him at this point, I was like, dude, I think you got this.
Because Vegeta's crit, or is he double strike?
He's crit.
Goku's double strike, but he doesn't have the double strike Goku on board right now.
Yeah, that Goku is not double strike, it's the other one that I'm blanking
That's
on.
the counter punish.
Yeah.
Ooh. Goku hit very
not
nice.
Catastrophic True Fighting Spirit.
True Fighting Spirit, yes.
So now you got potentially 2. Oh, he just passed. That's kind of smart.
Yeah.
Because if he wanted to even be able to kill it, he would have to hit the life to give it an additional 10k boost, and then combo cards off. It's like he's down to like 6-ish cards in his hand right now. So,
and he's completely tapped out.
He is
here,
tapped out.
So most of his, like, if he were to go all out and try and kill the Goku hit, I could just, especially with Champa Vados on the board, I could combo 110k for 0 energy and really put him in a bad spot.
it does reduce the combo cost, right?
Yep.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, me and you talked. I think it was after round. I think it was after round 2, about how fantastic the just free 10k combos were. How you were saying that most of your deck basically becomes a super combo. Do you think that's one of the elements that Cabba players should build into, or is that one of those just neat pluses that you get off of this package?
I think that's the route that I'm going to explore because it does feel really powerful, especially like you see this Kefla Peak of Perfection in my energy. If you combo with that card during your opponent's turn, you can actually rest one of their energy.
Mm-hmm.
And being able, it's once per turn, but across all copies of it. But being able to do that for free during a battle step with Champavatos on the board is really strong defensively. And then just being able to turn a bunch of dead cards otherwise in your hand into super combos, albeit you don't draw, is pretty wild. So I think that's the route I'm going to explore, but there's all kinds of new tech you can explore with this with the new Universe 6 stuff.
I think the deck has a lot of branching possibilities that, it's really hard to say where that deck is going to end up favorably one way or the other.
Help me out real quick. So discarding Champa did what now?
I can discard a card from my hand to give the 8-drop dual attack for the turn. And there I swung. He took a couple damage. I'm swinging again. We forgot to remove one of his battle cards when it came into play, but we'll do that before the turn ends. And here I'm just comboing really heavy, trying to end the game because he's at 1 life.
Yeah, that looks very scary. Looking down on a already big body double striker, and then you're tapped out, and then you start comboing 10Ks from your hand.
Yeah,
that looks very scary.
I'm a little confused where the second super combo came from.
His hand?
I'm gonna go back over the videos. I swore I saw he milled 3 of them.
I don't know.
I do remember seeing 3 hit the warp.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he actually picked it up with Power Burst, getting the effect mixed up.
Maybe. Because we talked about him grabbing one of the 1-drop Gokus, and he was like, I don't have energy to cast it, there's no point in doing that. So I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't really pay attention to what he did grab, but either way, he was able to survive the turn. And lucky for me, I was able to remove that thwarting.
Yeah, and there was that getting rid of that card for you.
Yeah.
Off the on-play effect.
Yeah.
So now he has 2 of the Gokus on board. You're kind of tapped out, but really, I feel like a go-to since you're playing blue. Are you playing Hatch or are you playing a different Secret Rare?
So remember at the beginning of the video when Jimmy said we all forgot stuff? Or it might have been Fluff that said that. I don't have a Secret Rare.
Oh.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, that's better than, not putting half the Overwhelm cards you needed in your Overwhelm deck.
Oh, yeah. So here, he gave me a 5k combo out of my life, and I used that opportunity to restand the Goku hit and block an incoming attack. Here, he takes another point of my life, and doesn't really have many options from here. So he casts this Goku, which is really all he can do. And unfortunately, he's kind of stuck. With 1 life, he can't activate any of the effects on any of his Gokus. And he's forced to just pass. He can't attack with Pycon because there's not enough markers on it. And
yeah, that's a rough spot right now.
Yeah.
That's a really hard spot for the Gogeta player to be in.
I was kind of fully expecting to die here, and I'm honestly helping him look through his own cards. See, he's scooping there. Yeah, that was what I got from the life.
That is one of the things that I think keeps Gogeta Xeno from being at the tippy top of the meta right now. Just because there are situations like this where you just steam out and you run out of the power to do something, especially if you extend in the wrong kind of way, one way or the other. And it really is a balancing act in trying to make sure your resources are in the correct spot at the correct time for you to be able to advantage them.
I think had he sequenced differently, I don't know what that sequence would have been. I'm not an experienced enough Gogeta player, but I feel like there's a situation there where he could have killed me. So here we are kind of discussing it, and he's like, no, you can't do that, can't do that.
I would like to say that we were playing for pinks there, so Jake just ripped his fucking mat off the table and he got to keep it at the end of the tournament.
Which was really messed up because that was Mike's mat, and Mike was super upset.
With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed today's matchup. Keep in mind there's buttons down below and on the screen while Fluff does the outro.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's really interesting to see the type of stuff that's going to come out once we really get in and mess with Set 15. I know a bunch of us haven't really had time to test with the stuff, the degree that we would have liked to have tested otherwise, right? So, bear with us while we kind of get our bearings with the new meta. But as always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And as always, Fluff out.